Okay, hello everyone. My name is Shakayla Alvarenka. I'm the Director of Public Programs here at the Mob Museum, and thank you to all of those who are joining us in person and for those joining us online. We appreciate you being here. So as most of you know, our community safety forums, they are free public programs and they're focused on pertinent issues that affect Southern Nevada. Now, these presentations are designed to provide safety information and helpful tips for Nevada residents. And today, our topic will center around community-oriented policing. I'm really happy to say that we have officers from the North Las Vegas Police Department here to share what they are doing to open lines of communication with underserved neighborhoods. And we just ask that if you are in the courtroom that you keep your mask on throughout this program unless you're eating or drinking, of course. So with that being said, please welcome Officer Caitlyn Ebert.
Hello everyone, how you doing? I'm Officer Ebert with North Las Vegas Police Department. I'm going to go over PowerPoint with you guys today and kind of talk about our unit and what we do for our community. Clicker, perfect. All right, so some of the goals you'll see in the presentation a lot, it'll say C.O.P, that's going to stand for Community-Oriented Policing, which is our unit. And some of the goals of our unit are going to be to reduce crime, reduce fear of crime, improve the quality of life of our residents, and improve upon and build further relationships with our community. And that last one is going to be the most important for our unit because the other three things can't be done unless we're able to achieve that thing. We can't reduce crime unless we know what crime is going on in the community, and we need our community members to report that to us. All right, some of the programs that we do, we're going to go through this slide today and talk about. It's going to be a short list of things that we do. The list is not conclusive. Our unit is constantly growing, building new programs, doing new events. So the things that I'm going to talk about, they change depending on the needs of the department or maybe something that the Chief of Police may designate to us. Our unit is growing very quickly. So I was actually the first officer to be assigned to this unit, to create this unit, and that was almost 2 years ago in August of 2019. Prior to that, the North Las Vegas Police Department didn't have any type of community policing program. So we're very excited about the growth that is happening with the department. Since then, I'll introduce my partner here in a second, but we've gained another COP officer that's assigned specifically to more of the community engagement side of the oriented policing in our department, but we also have grown to have 2 officers assigned to our homeless COP team, and they focus more on some of the homeless crisis in our city and how they can provide services and resources to the individuals affected by homelessness. All right, so I'm going to introduce my partner at this time. This is going to be Officer Christopher Campbell, and he was actually just assigned to the unit a couple months ago, so we're very, very excited to have him. Chris, do you want to talk about our CELA program?
Okay, how everybody doing today? So the CELA program stands for Summons in Lieu of Arrest, and this program was developed in cooperation of private industry companies, law enforcement, prosecutors, and the court. And it's specifically to refer nonviolent but cooperative subjects who violate limited crimes like petty larcenies, trespassing, and disturbing the peace. And they'll basically summons them directly to court. Why this program is beneficial for the community is because there have been an increasing delay for police officers' response to these different type of crimes. So when a business call regarding a petty larceny, let's say Walmart, officers may be on a domestic violence call, and it might take about an hour, hour and a half for us to respond. Due to that delay in response, Walmarts and different businesses may lose this violator, and the violator may come back and constantly victimize the business. The CELA program allows private businesses to allow their loss prevention or security guards to actually detain a violator for petty larceny, trespassing, or disturbing the peace. And this allows them to get a more execution or prosecution in courts for these violators without police response. But like I said before, the violators have to be nonviolent and cooperative, because obviously if they're violent, we don't want the loss prevention and stuff like that to get hurt, because they don't have all the tools that police officers have. So even though a business may have the C.O.P program implemented in their business, does not mean that they cannot contact us.
All right, the next program we'll talk about is our Trespass Program. We do help out with this program, but this is something our homeless COPs, if you will, focus more on because this affects businesses and the homeless population a lot more. The Trespass Program, it's designed to help business owners maintain the integrity of their properties when they're not there. So overnight hours or, you know, on the weekends. It basically gives the department the ability to act on that business's behalf in regards to trespassers. So let's say a small business, you know, is only open through Monday through Friday, and they have trespassers coming, you know, into the back of their business on the weekends and stealing property or, you know, whatever they're doing. This letter that we've created, if the business signs it and, you know, agrees that they want us to monitor their property, if you will, and I should add, we don't do that on a continuous basis, but if an officer has extra time and they're able to do a property check, maybe of a business that they think or they know has been victimized recently several times, they can go and they can check that property. And if anyone's on the property and they shouldn't be, we can take action without having to have the owner there. So it's really beneficial. It speeds up processes of things, and it helps us work with our business owners more closely. All right, so I'm going to talk about a couple of our new programs that we've started, and specifically our camera programs. So we all know that security cameras, both residential, business, are a very, very useful tool when it comes to evidence collection or reporting crimes. So the North Las Vegas Police Department has implemented these two programs very recently that's going to help us collect that evidence and benefit from those security cameras. The first program is going to be called our Community Cam Program. The purpose of this program is to give officers a map, basically, of the security cameras that are available from residents and business owners to use for crimes. So if a resident or business owner would like, they would just log on, sign up for our program, and we would basically add that they are willing to provide security camera footage if we needed it for a crime. So once registered, the officer who is looking for video footage would be able to see that their house or their business is on the map. That way they wouldn't have to go door to door looking for cameras. It saves time looking for resources, and it puts us directly to the source. So someone who signed up for the program, let's say they caught something, or, you know, an officer reached out to them saying, hey, we were looking for a red car going down the street between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. The people on the map could be like, yeah, I have footage of that red vehicle at 1:25 or something like that. And it just streamlines the process of finding the evidence and giving those officers more time to actually investigate crimes rather than going door to door, if that makes sense. I like to emphasize this doesn't give the police department or officers direct access to surveillance systems. There's no way we would be able to tap into your system or anything like that. It's strictly just saying, hey, there are cameras here. If you need cameras, this is where you can find them. And this isn't strictly just for residents, it's also can be for business owners, anywhere where crimes happen, right? So that's everywhere. Once you're registered, one of the two things would happen. If there's a crime, an officer would reach out to you looking for leads, or obviously if you've discovered something yourself and you need to report a crime, you can use this as well. All right. I like to add, similar programs are already up and running and have been running across our valley and across the country. Right here in the valley, we've got Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. They have their Vegas C.O.P program, and Henderson Police Department has the Capture program. I can't speak directly to their programs, but I know they are very similar to ours. So if you're a resident in one of those cities, you can go to their website to sign up for their programs. But obviously, North Las Vegas residents should go to our website. All right, the next camera program I'm going to talk about is our partnership with Ring. Ring has an app, if anyone is familiar, called Neighbors by Ring. And recently, we entered a partnership with them where we have our own law enforcement portal of this app. What it allows is for anyone with this app, it gives you access to real crime and safety updates whenever you want to receive them. And I like to emphasize that it's only crime and safety, unlike other apps where you can post, I have a couch for sale, or, free couch on the curb for pickup. This app will not allow anything that's not crime and safety. So if you're looking to declutter your feed and for something that's specifically going to give you crime and safety updates from your neighbors, this is going to be what you're looking for. The way that the police department partners with this app is, we're able to see the feeds of what's going on. So we can see the crime that you guys are posting, package thieves, my car was stolen, things like that. We're able to see what's going on, and that helps us if we want to do any specific type of operation to target, a certain crime happening. We can look at this data and see what's going on. But the most beneficial thing that this does is it gives us access to be able to do video request. So anyone who is part of the Ring app, the Ring Neighbors portal specifically, we can send out video requests saying, hey, just kind of like the community cam program, but more on a direct level, or a digital level, if you will. We are looking for a red car between the hours of 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., and if you've seen it, please send us your videos. And that gives the Ring users 3 options. They can either send us all the videos that they have, they don't have to look through them, or they could look through their videos and send us just what they want to send us, or they can choose to not send us anything at all. And what that does is, I should add, when we send out these video requests, we can target it to a specific geographical location. So if it was just one neighborhood, or a square block, we can target those specific residents who are on the app and ask them for that information. So it speeds up crime and evidence collection. A lot of times we see things that we didn't even know were happening. We've used this several times already to focus on specific crimes. Our problem-solving unit did a couple of operations based on a lot of vehicle burglaries that we were having, and they were able to use the video request in this app to help solve those crimes. This is, I don't know if it's going to let me play the video, Shakayla. It's fine? No, it won't. Okay. All right. Homelessness. So like I was talking about before, there's 2 different divisions within the C.O.P unit. So myself and Officer Campbell do more of the community engagement, crime reduction portion of it. But we have 2 other officers who do specifically homelessness. And the things that they focus on is reducing the crime revolving around homelessness and how it impacts the citizens within our valley and business owners who are impacted by homelessness. I would say the most important thing that they do, though, is they interact with the homeless community on a daily basis, and they are able to provide resources and services to those individuals to help them overcome their situation. You want to talk about this? You think, Gabe?
All right, so another big part of the C.O.P program is dealing with our youth. We understand that the youth is our future, and if there's not a lot of programs that they can be a part of. Obviously, school is only 9 months out the year. There's a summertime. But also when you are in school, we've seen at the police department that those hours that children are not in school, they're out, some of them are committing crimes. So we try to implement things where we can hold them accountable, have them get a source of discipline through our agency. Like with our Explorer program, we harp on discipline and having them hold themselves accountable, which are successful tools as they get older. So one of our programs is the Explorer program. That program helps out young males and females, and we teach them the basics of being a police officer. We have different areas in our police department, as in like CSI, dispatch, that the explorers actually get to see. So before they even are at the age to where they can apply, they can get a sense of, is this what I really want to do for a career? Also, we have just fun game nights. They go out to different places like the morgue and sit at actual court sessions where people are getting convicted or whatever the case may be. So they see a lot, so they won't have to waste their time when they get older on not knowing if this is something that they really want to do. Another thing that we deal with the youth is PAL. PAL is a police athletic league, and that we partner with a couple sport recreation centers like Steele's Boxing Arena, and the kids interact with law enforcement agencies across our valley, like Metro have a PAL league, and I believe Henderson do as well, and they compete throughout the year. Anything you want to add on that one?
Oh, we also go to any career days that an elementary school might request. A teacher might ask for an officer to come out to a classroom. We'll attend those meetings as well. We do get a lot of requests from the community, just depending on what it is, a lot of things come from our city council members or our chief of police saying, hey, we have this specific problem, we need to work towards a solution, and we try to brainstorm and see what kinds of things we can do to help mitigate that situation. Recap, this is more your speed. Yeah.
Okay, so the recap is something that we're starting to try to implement in our city. Metro currently have it implemented, and we see a good success rate involving the decrease of violent crimes in their jurisdiction. RECAP stands for Rebuilding Every City Around Peace. And I don't like to call this a program because in North Las Vegas, we're actually trying to build a better relationship with our community. So RECAP is actually a partnership through the community and our law enforcement agency. And the community that we're targeting with this program is our faith-based community. We partner with our churches, and we use them as a crime reduction strategy using compassion. So with this program, we have 3 different phases of deployment for our RECAP members. The first phase is basically if we have some type of gang shooting and we believe that there might be some type of retaliation. This would be called our phase 1. We'll contact our RECAP member, and they will actually come out and basically be that person to try to tie the community together, get pertinent information, because what we want from the RECAP program is to, 1, help us solve crimes, but also prevent future crimes. And so when they go out there, they talk with the neighbors, they pray with them, and they basically bring love back into the community. And if there's certain information that we need, that obviously some people just rather not tell us, that's when we'll partner with our RECAP members. Phase 2 is a situation where we'll have to have them come out within 72 hours. And they'll come out and do like a candlelight vigil or just a peaceful walk in the community, just basically spreading that love. And then phase 3 type of deployment would be for like a funeral or something like that. We'll have them go out there on the behalf of North Las Vegas Police Department, sharing our love and condolences to family members. So this program, like I said, strives to repair the relationship between the community and law enforcement and to make neighborhoods strong and crime-free. Anything else?
All right. I can keep going. Yeah? Okay. I'll touch more on what we are kind of have up and coming, and a lot of things we didn't talk about that I didn't put in the presentation. We focus a lot on events as well. So our city and our community engagement unit, who we work very closely with as well, our civilian staff, they put on a lot of events throughout the year, but those are kind of set in stone, and they do the same ones every year in their building as well. But what we are striving to do is kind of go outside of the box with some of our events that we're creating to target specific issues in the community. So for example, if you guys didn't know, this last week was Nevada Reading Week. So a couple months ago, I had the idea to do kind of a reading event that would strengthen the relationship between the police department and the youth in our community, and do that through teaching them about the police department. So I was able to find a really good book that talks about a story of a dog who wants to become a police dog. I was able to get a sponsor, thank you Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, shout out, who bought us over 1,000 books to give to 9 of our Title I schools and all of the second grade students across those schools. So after the books were distributed, we made a really cool, cute video to go along with the book that displayed how the things that the police dog in the book was talking about was exactly what our real life police canines do, and they were able to see that in real time. If you want to see that video, it's on our Facebook page. After we sent that video out to all the teachers, we still currently are going live into the classrooms, but we're going and we're engaging with the students, we're talking to them about the book, we're reading, we're answering any questions that they have. And the purpose of this is really to just reduce that fear of the police. We never want any child to be afraid to call the police in the case of an emergency, or be afraid to approach us if we're on a call or we're at the park or anything like that. So that was the real goal of that event, and we're always striving to do more events like that. I believe my partner is working on an Easter event right now, which we're really excited about. So that's kind of our goal, is to just throw new, innovative types of event throughout the year that other people aren't doing and that are actually going to impact our community on a smaller scale, but has a big impact to those people that we're affecting. You want to talk about the Easter event at all?
All right, so I can't talk about the Easter event just yet, just because it's still in the making. But another event that we do that you've probably seen on the news is our Shop with the C.O.P event, and that usually in December, obviously. We have a Santa Claus come out, and we have a lot of kids with different illnesses. Some have cancer, and some have different type of illnesses, and we partner with Target, and they usually give out like $200 gift cards for everybody, for all the kids, and we go shopping with them, and that's one of my favorite times of year, because you see how selfless these kids who don't really understand how sick they are, but they only really want to give back to their sisters and their parents, and even though that day is specifically for them to get whatever they want out the store, $200 worth, they rather spend everything on their moms, and it's a very, very emotional day, but very rewarding. But that's Shop with the C.O.P. The Easter event that we want to start doing, basically doing like scavenger egg hunts and stuff like that with the kids, getting them out there, having Easter bunny. Obviously, there's people in our community that can't go and pay for like Easter photos and stuff like that with the Easter bunny at the malls. So one of our goals is to try to set that up at a certain location each year, and have the community come out and be able to take decent photos with the Easter bunny, just so they can have that holiday spirit, if I should say, and be able to interact with law enforcement, have food and stuff like that out there, and good music, and just make the holidays great.
And I'll just add, so like I said in the beginning, this is all very new to us. We're a very new unit, year and a half. and we're growing. So I guess what I'd like the community to know is if you're a business owner and you want to help your community, reach out to us. If you're a resident and you have good ideas, reach out to us. We're always looking for things to make our community better and to better serve the specific needs. And if you think that there's a specific need that we're not fulfilling, please reach out to us, because all we want to do is help and make it better.
Thank you, Officer Ebert and Officer Campbell. We do have some questions online, but before I get to that, I wanted to open the floor to anyone in the audience first who may have a question about what you've heard over the last few minutes. Yep, and you can just come right up here to the mic.
Hello, it's not so much a question as it is a comment, but first of all, kudos to North Las Vegas. It kind of saddens me that it took 2019 to get this unit, and there's only 2 of you, but it's a start, and I'm glad to see that. Unfortunately,